Yo guys, what is up? A very good morning and welcome back to another YouTube video. Here on today's video, we're going to be going into what we do every single day, and that is analyze the major dollar pairs and obviously the dollar index. So diving in first of all to the dollar index. The dollar index moved down slightly lower yesterday in towards that area of 4-hour demand, which we mentioned. So this area of 4-hour demand caused the price to initially stall over here. And after that, we moved in a little bit deeper and are now reacting once again. So you guys know the drill. The longer that you stay inside an area of demand, the weaker it gets. Preferably, if this was really a strong area of demand, you would want to see it tap in and then a push back up in towards its overall buy before the sell, right? So that would indicate that this is a legitimate area of demand. Now, what I'm looking at for today is to see, okay, will this buy before the sell over here, or will this doji candle push price down lower and break this area of demand? If it will, then I'll just continue looking for shorts on this dollar index. Otherwise, what I also see happening potentially is one more push back up in towards this area of fresh supply. We liquidate the high over here, and then from there we start moving down lower. Let's say this area of demand does validate, let's say, a next leg up, and we do then, instead of not seeing any bearish reaction at all to this area of supply, we break this area of supply, then we'll look for further upside. Okay, so I hope that's all clear from a dollar index perspective. Still bullish here on the 4-hour time frame. This is all just a overall pullback with an internal bearish structure. Now moving in towards our main pair, which is EURUSD. EURUSD moved up higher as of yesterday, so we reacted to these two wicks over here. This is what caused the price to move up higher. So at the moment, what I'm still looking for is for higher prices. Overall, we have some demand kind of like over here inside of this area of consolidation. So I'm looking for us to now take out this swing high and potentially move up higher one more time in towards that extreme area of supply over there. That is what I'm now looking at mainly, and yeah, I'll just keep waiting for that. Once we break this overall area of consolidation, which I just mentioned, and we break this low, only then will I be looking for further downside back down in towards this area of demand over here. Okay, so I hope that is all clear for you. Still some longs on the table here, despite us already having made a quite significant pullback in towards the upside. But obviously the overall momentum here is bullish. So let's just follow the overall order flow as long as structure allows us to. And then also potentially in towards, let's say, these higher areas of supply, right? So that is that for EURUSD. What we're now going to be diving into is Aussie dollar, so AUDUSD, and AUDUSD over here reacted to that area of demand which we mentioned yesterday. As we can see, it's kind of stalling inside of this overall supply zone. Again, we've been in this supply zone for a very long time, so I'm not a big fan of it. But again, what could happen for the rest of today? Well, we could potentially see one more push down again. Like if you refine this area of demand to only the sell candle, what could happen? This is a liquidity low. We push down one more time, and then, for example, from there we move up and we kind of like break this overall. I know it's a crappy looking trend line, but we break that overall trend line and grab the liquidity above that, and even above that major swing high, which I discussed in yesterday's video as well. Which is over here, this liquidity high. So that's what I'm focusing on here for Aussie dollar, and yeah, keeping an eye on. So let's see, guys, what I'll be looking at is mainly that. Again, on the 15, it looks actually even more like we don't even have to tap in towards that lower zone. So keep an eye out. Overall, what could happen is that we already react to these areas of demand over here, or this area of demand over here. Keep an eye on this one, especially on the 15. Liquidation happening right above it. So yeah, if we see a bullish reaction from there, we could already look for a long. That would be the first attempt, and then we take a second potential attempt from that refined area of demand over here, because again, keep in mind this imbalance candle over here, it has in fact actually broken fractal structure. If we look at this from a fractal perspective, this is your fractal high. It break the fractal high, so this demand should be able to play out. Therefore, I would be happy to look for that 15-minute long. Now, going in towards pound dollar, GBPUSD, starting on the 4-hour, looking at this, it is very, very messy. Overall, we can see we're kind of just consolidating. If we draw in one of my favorite tools, and let's say we draw it from this low in towards this high, which kind of signifies the overall range, you can perfectly see, and even if you were to adjust it, by the way, to the low over here, this low, this one, you can perfectly see 25% mark is your support, 75% mark is your resistance. So what I am looking at for now, yeah, I mean, I still see this moving down lower potentially. Look at the daily mainly, then we see, we clearly moved in towards the supply zone. Daily fractal structure is bearish, by the way, guys. So we broke the daily fractal low over here. This was your daily fractal low, meaning that this supply zone over here, so this final buy before the sell candle, should push price down lower. So therefore I am looking for a potential short, and overall the daily is bearish as well. So going in towards the 4 hour, then what you can see over here is that I was looking for a potential short from this supply zone. However, again, we were resting inside of that supply zone for a long time, no real reaction, no real kind of like change of character. So skipping that supply zone and now mainly focusing on the higher one over here for now. That is now my main focus from body to wick. So let's see what happens over there, potentially kind of like liquidate these highs and then yeah, move it down lower. So that is what I'll be looking for from pound dollar, also perfectly aligning with the 75% mark. Going in towards NZDUSD over here. NZDUSD is very, very choppy, guys. It's hard to trade this in all honesty. Obviously, we reacted to this area of demand on yesterday morning Asia session approximately. Moved up higher, saw a change of character, and now you can look for a potential kind of like long, obviously, but again, no real reaction. Slow market conditions, ranging, not a lot I can do about it, right? We're just moving sideways, but obviously it would make sense to move up a little bit higher in towards this extreme area of supply. So yeah, just look for those potential short-term longs, guys, that's for sure. Overall, if we look at market structure, we break the lows over here, we break the lows over here, and we break the highs over here. So obviously we move in towards this overall sell for the buy over here, this sell for a buy, and you can see demand, but again, no real reaction because low volume. Now what happened this morning is that we pretty much moved in towards this refined area of demand. We liquidated the low over here, and straight away you see a bullish reaction. So what happens, we see then a change of character. So we break this high over here, we then create pretty much a demand zone in this overall sell over here before the buy. Obviously we already tapped into it, so let's say you refine it to this one, then we see the reaction and we see the push out. So I'll be looking and keeping my eyes on for a further long in towards the upside to kind of like grab the liquidity which is resting above this overall, let's say, trend line over here. So what I'll now look to do is yeah, further long it. If you want more confirmation, wait for this area of supply over here to break, and then look for kind of like the breakout trade of this overall descending trend line and trade it up in towards that higher 4 hour area of supply. So that's NZDUSD. Gold, last of all. Gold moved down lower yesterday as we pretty much wanted. Why? Because it moved now in towards this overall area of consolidation where demand lies. Now what you want to see is one more push down, guys, because there's no liquidation in the move up. So what happens, you liquidate most often than not your own low. So what this is currently turning out to be is just a support and resistance play. So what you can see over here is very obvious support and resistance. So now what you want to see is one more push down. This then becomes your fractal high. Then we see demand. We see demand do its thing. It will push price up. It would then cause a change of character over here, and then you create demand, and then we go along from that demand zone. That is the main goal. If we do kind of like move more rapidly down lower, you can already look for a buy from this potential zone over here, or even from this lower zone over here. So that would be around 2300 or from around 2316 or 2317. That's the two longs that I'll be looking at for sure on the short term. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day and speak soon.